So I once took a flower arranging class, and they told me that the secret to arranging good flowers was to pour yourself a glass of wine. Feel free to apply that theory to wreath making as well. I don't have wine, and that's unfortunate. Anyways. Welcome to the second day of Christmas, where today we are going to make 2 little baby wreaths. So the further we get into this self-quarantine that we're doing in order to see family for the holidays, I keep staring at all of the spaces in my house that aren't currently, if I can speak, aren't currently adorned with Christmas decorations. And all I think is that they need Christmas decorations. So what I have decided to do is use some Christmas tree trimmings and make a couple of little wreaths that I'm going to hang over my desks. And I'll show you that at the end after we make them. But I love this project because it's easy and it's almost free, truthfully. The only thing that makes it not free is if you don't currently own floral wire. You will want floral wire. I think that's a vital part of this project, as well as floral trimmers. It'll just make your life easier. Other than that, the greenery is completely free. If you are not let me back up. If you do have a real Christmas tree, you can certainly just go trim some branches off your tree around the bottom and get greenery to make your wreath. If you are not a real tree person, or if you don't have enough greenery around the bottom of your tree, any tree lot in whatever city you live in, whether it's a private tree lot or it's a hardware store, that took me a minute to say, will have a big bin. If they sell Christmas trees, they will have a really big bin that is full of the trimmings from the bottoms of trees when they trim them up to send them home with people when people buy them. They're these big baskets. They are completely free. Every tree lot in every city we have ever lived has had one, and I've never been to a place that charges you for them. You are welcome to walk in and grab branches. And if you go to a tree lot that has a bunch of different types of trees, you get a whole bunch of different greenery, which is wonderful. So that's what I did. I went to our local Ace and dug through the bin and picked up a bunch of loose greenery. So it's going to come in like really big branches, and all you're going to do is take your floral trimmers and cut off the full pieces that look pretty to you. So I've got some, that are real pretty and full like this. I've got others that look like this, but they'll be handy for something. So just trim it all up. Ow. Note that some of them are kind of pokey, but anyways, so cut all of your branches, which I have pre-done for the sake of time, and pour yourself a glass of wine, and let's get to work. So first thing that you're going to want to do is tie some bunches together, which I have already pre-tied some, again, for the sake of time, but I'm going to show you what I did with a couple. So just find, if you have an assortment of greenery, grab different kinds just to add a little bit of texture. They'll all have a little bit of different coloring as well. So even pieces like this, which are kind of funky, you can still, sort of put in, and they don't look so funky when they're bunched together. So now I like the looks of this bunch. I do like 3 stems in a little bunch. And now I'm going to take some floral wire. Let me pull some off here. Trim that up. And then I'm just going to tie it. Again, maybe wear gloves because whatever this is, it's got a lot of pokies on it. Kind of hurts. But take your floral wire, tie it real super good and tight. So I will say, as I'm tying this, that this method that I'm about to show you works really well if you are making a mini wreath like this one. If you want to make a larger wreath, it's probably a good idea to buy a wire frame because it's just going to get heavy and more likely to misshape. So now I have like 6 bunches like this tied together, and I'm going to start connecting them. So the first thing I'm going to do is connect them in a line. So you've got 2 bunches like this. Let me move these out of the way. All right, so you've got 2 bunches. I'm just going to lay them down, and I'm going to tuck one bunch behind the other bunch. So if you can see that, so taking 2 bunches, putting one behind the other. And you want to take, so you've got this stem part here, and you can see the wire. Let me see it closer, you can see the wire. You want to make sure that like that's down low enough that it's not really seen. So you can't really see the stem of the second bunch like that. So put those together, grab some more floral wire. You can order this on Amazon. So if you don't want to leave your house to go get floral wire or floral trimmers, they are available on Amazon. So we've got the 2 bunches together like this, and I'm just going to take my floral wire and connect them. And I'm going to do it from one of the branches on the back here, trying to conceal the floral wire as best I can. And when I am tying this, I am wrapping like all the way down the stem, and that just makes it for me feel a little bit more secure, and that's why I do that. So I'm gonna get these guys wrapped together. We'll go from there. Okay, so I now have my 6 bunches tied together in a straight line, and I'm going to take the 2 ends and I am going to connect them together and tighten with floral wire, or connect them with floral wire, I should say. So keep in mind, depending on the size mini wreath you want to make, you may need more than 6 bunches. And also it's going to depend on the length of your trimmings as well. So 6 bunches is about the right size for where I'm going to put these guys. So I'm going to get it connected, and then I will show you where we're at. So see how it's like real kind of wild looking right now? We're going to get it to where it looks more like this in just a second. So real wild now. So now that you've got it connected in a circle, I'm just going to sort of fold everything back in together using the floral wire. So you may find that in certain spots, once it is connected, that you need to add some additional branches for fullness. And the way I sort of determine this is exactly what I just did. Sort of pick it up and lay everything down and look and determine, is that as full as I want it to be? So I'm just going to start laying things and wrapping, and basically sort of keeping anything long condensed. Okay, so now I'm just going to keep rotating it and doing that same thing of tucking wild branches in to create a more cohesive cylindrical look. All right, so now that I've got most of what was there tied down, I'm realizing like one were a little bit oblong, but there's some pretty major gaps, as you can see. Like right here is really thin. So what I'm gonna do is go in and fill this in with some additional branches and just attach them to what's here with wire, the floral wire, to create like a fuller look. So to do this, what I've done is I've taken another bunch, another 3, God, these are so pokey, another 3 little trimmings, but I haven't tied them together yet because I want a little bit more flexibility with them. And I'm gonna go in and just like sort of tuck them behind and connect them. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm just sort of tucking them back in. And then again, you want to get your floral wire tight, especially now, because that, with these mini wreaths specifically, there's no metal frame that is providing the structure of this wreath. So its entire structure is based on how tight you get this floral wire. So you want to make sure that it's pretty good and tight. So if you're doing a bigger wreath and you have that wire framing behind it, it's okay for you to, you know, not be as tight with your floral wire. Now I got that added in on the top. I think those words made sense together. And realizing that my bottom looks a little sparse. So I'm gonna add a couple of stems in, and sometimes you might be able to just like shove a stem in and it fit and not have to worry about more wire. Sometimes you might need to add more wire. Totally dependent. All right, so there we go. Kind of loose, kind of wild. You can tuck, you can make it as, ooh, this guy's got a little crazy down here. But you can make it as condensed or as wild and free-flowing as your tastes are. Sometimes your branches honestly just like don't want to cooperate, and that is incredibly frustrating. And I think this is why the floral class I took, they told you to just like pour a glass of wine and all would be fine. Okay, now that I've got this fixed, it's still a little thinner right here, but what I'm gonna do is effectively just make that the top of my wreath. So I'm gonna grab some ribbon. This is just extra gift wrapping ribbon. Loop it through the top here. Tie a knot, and then I'm going to show you where and how I am going to hang them. Ooh, that's dusty. You can't see me. First things first, I'm going to clean the top of this picture frame because it's real kind of gross. Okay, that's done. Real nasty. All right, so what I have here is a command hook. I'm gonna put it, I'm gonna stand up so you won't see me, but you'll see what I'm doing. In the center of this picture frame, can you even see this? No. Okay, hang on. Again, kind of far away because it's a one-man show over here, y'all. Command hook, top of the picture frame. That's why you don't put tripods on couches. Okay. And there they are, looking so cute.